You are joining Making a Difference with Melissa Clark, a new show that shares the compelling stories and voices of well-known and everyday people who change the world in big and small ways. Enjoy our guests, call in, or just listen to be inspired. For this show was made with you in mind. Please join us every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our special guests. And you can listen to our recast at www.melissaclarkshow.com.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us here on Making a Difference. I'm Melissa Clark. You know, I saw my first medium when I was 35 years old. My father had just passed away and I was so vulnerable and so upset and I wanted to talk to him. So I was introduced to this amazing woman, Jennifer. And in the middle of my reading, she was telling me something that my father wanted to tell me in the spirit world. And she did this hand gesture that only him and I knew about. I didn't even tell my family about it. I never put it on social media. So ever since then, I've been a total believer. There's either two people in this world. You believe in spirits or you don't believe in spirits. And I am a huge spiritual person. I am an empath. And I've had a lot of experiences in my life. So I know that seeing a spiritual healer or a medium or psychic can make a difference in your life significantly. So I invited a couple of mediums on to do some readings for some people that I know, and I was so happy and thrilled to have them on. This is a two-parter, so I call this Tap Into Your Spirituality, and we have on the show Diane Sassano, who is a psychic and a medium, and she did a reading for both my childhood friend Latricia and myself. But first, I'd like to introduce you to Kelly Voorhis, who is the owner of Infinity Healing, and she did a reading on my dog, Jimi Hendrix Clark. So take a look. Hi, Kelly Voorhis. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
For having me.
Thank you very much. We're so excited to have you. I have Mr. Jimi Hendrix with me because Kelly is a pet psychic. She is the owner of Infinity Healing. Not only does she do pets, but she does humans. She's a Reiki specialist. What else do you do, Kelly?
I do Aqua Detox services, which people have to come in for. I'm a Reiki Master, so I can do animal communication and Reiki healing in person or in distance. I work from photos of lost pets, people who have passed, pets that have passed, so I can do distance work for people. And then I, of course, do in-person sessions, humans and animals. So
love it so much. Thank you so much for all your services and helping people out there. I am a crazy animal lover, and I met you through our editor-in-chief at Pet Lifestyle Magazine, Lori Zelenko. So thank you so much. And I'm a pet writer. You know, I write about celebrity pets as well. So I have Mr. Jimi Hendrix here, and I wanted to know if you can please kindly give us a reading and see how he's feeling.
Sure, absolutely. He's adorable, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, Jimi Hendrix is like your boy, 100%. I get the number 4 with him, and when I get numbers, it could be like he could have been like 4 months old, 4 years old when you got him.
That's right.
It could have been April or a time. I also get the numbers 10 and 11, and it's kind of weird because I get like he's 10, going to turn 11, or he just turned 11.
He's 11.
Okay, all right. He does have issues with his teeth. I get some kind of like sensitive, so if you do softer foods with him, it would be a little better because he is getting older. The heart, something with the heart. And I feel like it's more like a little murmur. There's nothing really to worry about now, but as he progresses, it's going to get a little stronger.
Yeah.
Hips, watch his back hips. I feel like he's achy. His age, it's a little bit of arthritis. If you could do a joint supplement with him, that would help him.
A joint supplement? All right. I would like to write that down because, you know, when I pick him up, like he goes, like not that he moans, but he goes,
Right.
so I don't know if he's in pain or if he's just going, I love you so much.
A little of both. He does love you so much, but I feel like he's a little achy. Don't let him jump on and off the bed. I feel like he is allowed anywhere in your home, the couch, the bed, wherever.
Yeah.
Just don't let him do a lot of jumping. Maybe help guide him or get some steps for the bed.
Okay.
So he can kind of come up, because that jumping off the bed is really going to put more pressure on his back hips, and his forearms. He's great. He's in good health. You pamper him. I get that you could dress him up in anything, pretty much, but not sure if you try and do shoes, but if you do boots or shoes, he does not like them at all.
That's the one thing that's the one thing he doesn't like.
Yeah, like he'll do it for you. Like, okay, Mom, I'll wear it because you put them on me, but he really prefers not to have them.
Yeah.
Do you have a stroller thing for him, like something you put him in?
No, I put him in a wagon. He goes like in a wagon. Sometimes he likes to be pushed around.
Yeah,
I always love that.
It's funny because I see the wheels, but I can't picture if it's a stroller or maybe it is a wagon. But it's like he's like the king, like, look at me, I don't have to walk. She's not carrying me. Yeah. I will say he, relationship wise for you, whoever you're with has to like him, and that's been a little bit of a struggle, I think, with you. I think your current relationship, he's good. I don't think he's as big as an animal lover as you are.
No.
But he respects Jimi Hendrix, and he kind of likes him. He thinks he's kind of a cool little dude. Like for a dog, he's like, yeah, he's not so bad. Are you starting? I'm just gonna ask you. This is kind of more on you than Jimi Hendrix, but I see something with a non-for-profit for animals. Like, I don't know if you've thought about ever starting something in Jimi Hendrix's name. And just think about it. It could be something future. And I see it's more for smaller dogs, but you could do bigger dogs, like this kind of non-for-profit helping animals that need a home or animals that are sick, and it's going to be, I see it kind of in Jimi Hendrix's honor. Kind of like, I love my dog so much, I want to help other people.
Sure, of
If
course.
you haven't thought about that, I think it's something maybe in your future, along with all the million other things that you do.
Yeah. Listen, I am totally all about animals. Sometimes it's really scary because it's more about animals than people. I just feel like they're so innocent and they need a lot of help,
Think about that. I kind of see it's more geared towards small animals. Like, I don't know if you're more of a smaller dog person in general.
I love all animals.
I feel like you love all animals, but whatever this non-for-profit is, maybe it just tends to happen to be more people with smaller animals reach out to you. I'm not sure, but I see Jimi Hendrix's name. Like, this is like Jimi Hendrix's little non-for-profit to help animals.
Sure.
So that's something that I might be down the pipe that you create. And then with what you do, you have so many followers. I see it being like a huge thing. And it could even incorporate like lost animals, like, oh, this animal's lost, let's help find it. Let's donate some money. Let's get some people out there. And it's going to be like Melissa Clark's non-for-profit, Jimi Hendrix fund or whatever. It's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of, I kind of see that.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Just watch his teeth for me.
Okay. I have a question for you, if you don't mind. Sure. He's on medication day in and day out. Should I get his teeth cleaned? The cardiologist says it's okay because they only put him under like a twilight anesthesia, if you will. But I do want to get his teeth cleaned because, the Shih Tzus, they lick a lot. And, I just want to make sure his teeth are nice and healthy. So every year he does get his teeth cleaned, but one vet turned me down and said, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Okay. So is it okay if I get his teeth?
If they do a heart test, he'll be okay. Because what I'm picking up on is if you don't get them cleaned, he's going to get I see bacteria and infection, and that's going to affect his heart worse.
Correct.
Okay. So just make sure, I would have them do a heart test to make sure his heart is strong enough. And they'll be honest with you. I feel like this next time is okay, because I feel like if you don't, he's going to be in more detriment because he's going to get infection.
Yeah.
And that's not good for his heart.
So
the more you can clean him, the better you are. He'll be okay. They won't do very strong for him, and I feel like he doesn't have to be under that long for them to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
So he'll be good.
Thank you so much for that. I just wanted to get clarity on that.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's
such a
I
mush.
just want to hold him.
He's just such a mush. He's so heavy.
Yeah, it's like I see it something like maybe a year down the road that you think it's like something's gonna trigger with you, where it's like I should do this to help some animals. And Jimi Hendrix gonna be, it's like his little following page is gonna be in his honor, and it's gonna be like his name, like I said, like Jimi Hendrix, Melissa Clark non-for-profit fund or something like that.
Totally.
Is your mom still alive? Your
No.
mom? Okay.
No.
Okay, so that's, and you were very close to her, your mother? Okay,
Yeah,
I feel like she was almost like a sister to you.
Yeah, she
Okay.
was my best friend in the whole world.
Okay, does she have cancer?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to her, because I feel like she's around you. And do you have a picture like on a special mantle or in your bedroom of her?
Well, not in my bedroom, but they're all around in other rooms.
Okay. Talk to her. Like she's still kind of watching over you.
Yeah.
Where's your dad? I feel like he's there but not there.
He's with her.
Okay, that's why. Okay, so they definitely were they teenage sweethearts?
They were. Did you hear that hiss?
No.
Do you hear a hiss?
No.
There we go. Okay.
Maybe
yeah,
it's a sign from them.
I don't know. There's like crazy things so you will be number 3 medium that I've had, or psychic that I've had, or spiritual healer and advisor that I've had, and crazy things like have been happening. So that's why I'm like, did you hear that hiss? Because I know nothing really happened. You didn't do anything. All right. Anyway, so sorry. Yeah, it's like insane. Okay. So what was the question? Sorry.
Your dad, because I feel like he's there, but he's not there. Maybe that's because he's with your mom. Were they like sweethearts?
Oh,
I feel like they were like high school sweethearts. They had that relationship where they adored each other, and it,
Oh, they adored each other. Right? Now they were the Bickersons. They used to, they were just, they were like Archie and from the family.
Oh, like I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I can't think of the show. Yeah, and his Edith
and Archie Bunker, and they
were soulmates though.
Yes, they were, and they were best friends, and they couldn't live without each other, and that's why after 4 months she developed lung cancer, terminal lung cancer, after he died. Okay. She couldn't live without him.
Yeah, they're both there, and it's funny because she's kind of in charge though, because if your dad wants to come through and talk to you, she's like, no, I'm here, I got it, I'm gonna say this, and you need to sit over here and shut your mouth.
That's how she was.
And he'd be like, and he step in when he has to, you know what I mean? He step in when he has to. It's sad because I think they both died too young, very young. Like, they had more life that they could have given to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a person that I think there's somebody, I don't know if you think of him this way or he thinks of you. I'm very confused on it. He's coming through as a father figure and he's still alive, this person. And if you don't think of him as another like father figure, he thinks of you as a daughter. I don't know if it's a relative or if it's a close friend. This gentleman is probably, I say, in his 70s and adores you. Like would do anything like as a father, not in a relationship. As a father. So I don't know if it's an uncle that you're close to or if it's a male friend, somebody even you work with that you kind of look up to, but he thinks of you like a daughter. Like if you went to him and said, look, I need, $50,000 to start this little venture I want to start, he'd be like, okay, I'll help you do it.
There's like 2 or 3 that I can think of that are wonderful. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They would kind of do anything. There's one in particular. You'll think of who it is. I don't know. I can't get a visual of him. I'm seeing like how he feels about you. Like it's almost like he wishes you were his daughter, and he might not have a daughter. This person, you know what I mean? So
okay.
Kind of like who you are. But talk to your parents, because especially your mom. She's around. I think she gives you little signs, and I think they're there. Like you sense it, and you're kind of like, oh, come on, mom. Or like you go to do something, and like she's in the car next to you, like, no, Melissa, no, don't do that. No, you need to be nicer. No, don't do that. Don't push this guy away.
Yeah, she's cool. Like, yeah, I feel her a lot, and her birthday's coming up. So
is it okay? There's something with the month of May, and that's bothered me. I don't know if it's because Mother's Day is in May, or she got sick in May, or she died in May.
No, that's my birthday, and my birthday fell on Mother's Day this year.
Okay. All right. So acknowledge that she knew that. And that
That's
she's
nice.
around because there's something with May with her.
Yeah, and I just hit 40, so it was like a
Oh my God.
a double whammy.
Hey, 40 is a good age.
Yeah, thank you so much. Listen, tell us, why is it so important for us to be in tune with our spirituality? What do you think? Why do you think it's so important?
It's important because a lot of us don't realize, like, we have guides, we have people looking out for us, looking over us, and we have signs every day that people ignore because they're not open to it. I find a lot of my clients that come to me, some of it's messages from loved ones that have passed, some of it's healing with things they haven't dealt with. Especially like in my Reiki sessions, I have a lot of people who have emotional baggage, whether it's dealing with relationships or with their parents or with their childhood. And I find even when I do the Reiki and I do readings for people, I bring up some closure that they haven't dealt with, because I can see things of maybe how things occurred or how they were. And I'll be blunt with people. I just I just did a session the other day on a woman, and I instantly got her dad, and I saw this necklace that she was supposed to wear, and it's an Italian horn that was his necklace.
Yeah.
And she's like, she goes, it's over there. She showed me where it was, and she brought me to the mantle, and it was hanging off a picture. I'm like, he wants you to wear it. She goes, well, it's masculine. I said, but it was important to him. She goes, he wore it every day. So I told her to put it on a chain. And as I'm doing this session, I got lots of family stuff with her mother and how her mother was not part of her life. And I found out why. What made me sad is her mom was not a very nice person to her father or her.
Right.
And she was blaming herself. You know, and things that I could see in the reading, I was able to, she thanked me after because I brought closure to, like, it's not her fault. She did everything she could. Her father did everything she could. So for people, I think it's like we see therapists or we do this or we do that. And sometimes it's just a matter of messages from the other side that people don't realize that we can receive. Or if somebody died quickly, like if you had a loved one that got killed in a car accident, you can say goodbye.
Right.
You know, or if you had a fight with them just before they left, and there's closure, there's messages that I can give people. And plus with physical healing too, with the Reiki, I'm able to help. I've helped people with vertigo and deal with, you know, their cancer, and they're getting like radiation and chemo, and I can make them feel less nauseous and, you know, feel better.
So explain to us what Reiki is.
Reiki is energy healing. So when somebody comes to me, and I can do it distantly as well. So it's all about energy. So I have symbols that I'm given as a Reiki master, and plus naturally being intuitive and an empath, I will physically feel what somebody feels. So if you have migraines, I start feeling it. If you have stomachache, I will feel it. And as you start at the crown of the head, we all have chakras in our body. I call them like little rooms in your house, and they get cluttered. Our bodies don't function properly. So when I do Reiki, I start at the crown of the head and I go to where my hands are drawn, and I work through the body, just hovering, or I can lay my hands on you. And it helps balance you. I do an hour session, and it sounds crazy, but it helps release. It's almost like I can remove the pain. I can remove the emotional stuff. I can remove physical stuff. And even distantly, I'll have people send me a picture, a selfie of that day or of their animal. If I can't do an in-person session, send me a photo from that day. And I do the Reiki over the photo and do the session. I can do it live, or I can do it and then, you know, talk to the person afterwards, whatever they prefer. And it's really hard to explain because you have to try it and believe it and see it to feel it.
That's right. You have to feel it for yourself.
Yeah, it's amazing the results that I get. And I have clients who come to me regularly. I've got my monthly clients, some come twice a month. Even with the readings, it's kind of like, oh, I'm having this trauma in my life. What can you help me with? And it's anything from, I got a young lady last night, and it's with a boyfriend. It's her sexuality, and she's struggling, like not being shy. And I was able to help her like get through some of the things that she's shy about. I'm like, you know, as you get older, you will get more confident. And, you know, and I even got so blunt that I'm like, have a shot of vodka, make you feel better. You know, she's in her early 30s, but she's feeling like secure with who she is as a woman.
Sometimes we just need that spiritual energy from people like yourself who have the ability in order for us just to awaken a little bit. That's what you know.
And I see people myself. I mean, and I tell people, and I want to put this out there. Like when you get messages, people expect certain things. I had somebody come to me who she has 2 past husbands, which is very sad. She's in her 50s. She's a widow twice.
Wow.
Both of her husbands came to me. I got so much of how he died, what happened, the ex-wife, everything, because one of them was married before. And, you know, these messages were beautiful, but she's struggling in her own right, you know, with who she is and can she move on and everything. But I tell people, like, she had certain questions she wanted me to answer, and some I couldn't. And I'll be honest with you, I can't answer it because you're not supposed to know that today.
Right.
or they don't want to reveal that. So it's all about what you're supposed to receive that time. So there's no right or wrong of how often you do it. I tell people 6 months to a year, but I have people who come to me monthly and want to read in monthly, whether it's about their career or their personal stuff, and I see 3 people myself. I cannot read for myself. I can do Reiki on myself as well, but it's not as strong because I fall asleep. So I have 3 different people I see myself. And I'm the same way. If I have something traumatic going on in my life, or a life change, or I want to do something new in my career, I might go see somebody 3 times in a month, you know,
Right.
and then I might not go back for a year. So I tell people there's no right or wrong, and test the waters. Like, I even refer the 3 people that I see. I have clients that I'll refer to them as well, because my belief is there's enough to go around for all of us. You know, the universe gave me this gift for a reason. And, you know, if you want to read it from me and you want to go to my friend a month from now, have at it. You know, give her the ability to read you and see what she has to say and get another opinion, and, you know, spread the wealth. That's my philosophy.
Right, right. And speaking of wealth, let's talk about that for a second. You know, we all have to make a living,
Yeah.
but what obviously your gift is more important to help people. But, you know, once again, everybody has to charge for their services. So tell us a little bit about that and what your thought is, because you can't do all this for free, and everybody,
Right.
but how can you spot like a fraud? Do you know?
Well, one thing I tell people, and sometimes I have a hard time this, and I'm going to say this right out loud to the audience so they know, I'm one sometimes who presents something that I'm trying to say as a question. It doesn't mean I'm necessarily asking for the answer. I'm kind of like putting it out there because I'm looking for feedback to make sure that I'm on the right path.
Right.
Because I've had frauds. I've seen thousands of people. I love like testing people, and I don't want to say testing because I don't go there and say, oh, let me see what you can tell me.
Correct.
My biggest thing is we do need feedback. We do need confirmation that we're on the right path, you know, because we get so much. But if you go to see somebody, or you're doing it over the phone or whatever, if they start asking you too many questions, like, oh, well, you know, did you have a boyfriend that recently left you? You know, you shouldn't answer that necessarily. Like, don't go there and feed them. And my biggest thing is you can call, like, I'm going to give an example of a phone session. You call them up, you want a session, and they take your first name, your last name, your date of birth, whatever. And, oh, well, I can do a reading for you in a week. Mm-hmm. That's a red flag to me, because they can go and research certain things with you.
Correct.
I try to only ask for a person's first name and maybe their photo. Yeah. I have thousands of followers who want to friend me on Facebook. And if I'm doing a first session with them, I'm like, I will not accept your friend request until I've done your session, because I don't want to know anything about you.
That's right.
When they come in, I'll tell them that. Please don't tell me anything when they book the session. Don't tell me why you want to come. Let's start the session and go with the flow, and then have questions for me. Like, have questions that you want answered, but do not let me ask you who you are, who you're dating, where you live. I don't want to know any of that.
Right.
And on the flip side, I've had this person who came to see me with the 2 husbands that I passed. We have mutual friends. She was referred to me. She was afraid I knew too much. And I said, here's the thing. I may know who you are. I may know that you have 2 husbands that have passed. I'm going to know about, but as we do these readings and healing work and whatever, I'm going to get to know you. Yeah. But it doesn't mean every session is different. So I'm going to get something different. The people I've seen one since 1995. I've seen her yearly since 1995. The other one I started seeing in 2006. They know who I am. Yeah. They know that I have a German Shepherd. They know what I do for work. But every time I go, they give me something different, and they give me enough specifics to know that they're the real deal. Right. No, that's what you want. You want specifics on dates, like Jimi Hendrix, when I picked up his age, or you want enough specifics. Can we be wrong? Absolutely, we can be wrong. You know, we may be a little vague on things, but you don't want somebody to have you lead them, you know, and you feed them the information. So if they're asking too many questions, you know that there's a red flag. Absolutely. Lots of red flags. And if they want to know your last name and your date, you don't need that. A first name. You know, a first name, and I'm going to book your session. I don't want to know. Give me your cell phone number so I can text you a reminder that you're going to keep your appointment. I don't want to know anything else. I don't need to. I don't need to know your age, your skin color, nothing. Like, let it go with the flow. If they're asking too many questions, then they're going to research what they can get. Right. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you, Kelly, so much. Where can people find you? InfinityHealingNY.com is my website. infinityhealingny@gmail is my email. My cell phone is 518-810-8232. My Facebook page is Infinity Healing Aqua Detox and Reiki Services. And if people want to know what I charge, my Reiki sessions are $65 for an hour, in person or in distance. My human readings are $55. My animal communication Reiki is still $65. If I go to somebody's home, there might be some mileage applied. And this is what I'm telling people when I do distance work. I don't just drop the ball. Even when I go in person, we all forget to ask things, and so when I leave a session or when I've done a distance session, and I'll be like, if you think of one or two questions that you forgot to ask me, text me and I'll answer them, like as a little extra gift. And if I'm working on a lost animal, because I'm not working for a solid hour, I tell people I will work on this animal up to a week for that $65. Like, because I'm working in stages and I don't want to drop the ball.
I love it.
I do give a little extra. I mean, a lot of times, I was just at the session the other day. I did an hour and a half for you, and I charged her for the hour because I went over because she needed to hear what she needed to hear.
Yeah.
My thing is it comes back to me. She's going to refer me.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Well, thank you so much, because I know when I go and see a medium, I forget sometime, and I'm like, oh no, now I got to hold that until the next time.
Nope. I always I'll give them a couple. Don't send me a list of 13 questions, but the next day, think of something, because I do the same thing. I leave, I'm like, oh, I should have asked that, so that's something a little extra that I prefer to do for clients. You think of something next day, text me the next day, and I'll text you back and give you an answer. Not a big deal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, guys. Hi, Latricia. How are you?
Good. How are you, Melissa?
I'm very well, thank you. You're freezing up a little bit, but I think we're going to be okay. We have Latricia White here. She is a IT program director. She is a childhood friend of mine, and we've been through a lot these past couple of years. So I invited Latricia to come to speak with Diane, and we're going to meet Diane in a little bit. So I'm going to take myself off. You guys enjoy, and I hope you have a great reading, Latricia.
How I usually feel energy is when I know that I'm going to meet somebody or talk to somebody, I open prior to that. So in other words, like I take care of like all that. Well, hi, how you doing? What's going on? So I kind of like get that out of the way. So then we can focus on, I can focus on the person that wants to be read. And I usually start feeling the energy or the impressions that I get from people immediately. So this is just what I felt from you from like early morning. And I felt, usually I'll get like a feeling of your energy, how you feel, and how you, like maybe how your day was or some things that you've been experiencing. But, is it always 100% no? Because it could other people too that are in your energy that I read also. Okay, so what I got this morning from you was I had like a heaviness I got up here in the upper region of your chest. Not like it was like a pain, but just like a heaviness. Yeah. And then on the right side, like of your back, like I would say the upper quadrant of your back, I was getting like some, like, I don't know if it was a tightness or how like if you pull a muscle kind of like, I was feeling that. And then on the left side, I was feeling like in your head region over here, I go to the healer aspect first because that's what I am, an energy reader. And I just happen to be gifted with mediumship and psychic. And if the first thing that comes forward is the healing, that means to tell you that maybe you're dealing with some health issues. And that's the prominent one always comes first. So that's the healing. And the left side, do you have like a lot of headaches or get headaches? So I feel like I was feeling like a very light, like dull ache on the left side of your head. And like as soon as I wrote it, it went away. So I don't know if you get maybe like little pains or something there, but that's what I was feeling. Okay. Then one came right after that. I saw a house, very quaint kind of house, and it had trees. Yeah. I don't know if this is from your childhood or where you are presently, but it's like, it made me feel like a really kind of like, when you let a balloon go, like that happy feeling. That's what I was getting from that. Okay. And then it took me back again to the right part of your chest, like towards like under here, like you have an ache or something over here is going on. It's closer more to like the armpit area. So it wasn't like a sharp pain, like more like a dull, kind of like something that's there, or I'm not sure if you're hurt your back and it's traveling.
Back. Yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely a sore spot in the back. I feel it mostly in the back though. I oddly feel it coming around under the arms or anything.
Okay, so, so maybe just that could be something that sometimes they tell me that if you don't take care of this, it's going to start traveling this way.
Yeah.
So, and then also the craziest thing that came to me was a bicycle.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like a bicycle was there. So I don't know the importance of that. You would know, but it was like this bicycle was significant. And they're tingling me. So it's telling me this bicycle was significant at some point in your life. So it could be according to, and it's on this side. So that would be the maternal side. So that would be my right side. So if someone maybe helped you or that's not here anymore, ride a bike or do something with this bicycle, but somewhere in your subconscious, you connect this bicycle with this person. So
I just recently got a bicycle and I'm wondering, why does this feel like it's my soul needs it? And it was one of those things that finally my husband and I went out and we got bikes, but I couldn't remember what it was. But I think as you're saying that, it's probably my dad, and he passed and he taught me how to ride a bike. So maybe that's
because I'm like all when we connect correctly. And sometimes I don't say anything. They just stand presently, and he's here because he's like tingling me all up and down my back. So the significance, I don't know if the significance with the bike is, but so either it's to do with, I would say, because it's very prominent to me, it came. And I would say that was to help you healthy-wise, I'm thinking. Did your dad pass of something because he didn't take care of himself?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be why he's there with the bike. So he's asking me to give you the message that because when I'm talking about bicycle, you ever see those big billboards? That's how big he made the bike.
Wow.
Because I write everything that they say.
Yeah.
Everything. And I wasn't sure who it was coming from because a lot of people come at once. So what I do is that I have holy water in my head, how I place my visions, and that when you in your energy want to hear or call forth a person, that person has to cross like that holy water, so they don't, because I don't deal in realms other than the angel realm with people that maybe even if they were murdered or suicide, they always come when they cross that with love. So unless a person wants to know, or I need to get a message to you, like you weren't sure how someone passed, they will give me their symptoms.
Okay.
So with your dad, I felt like he was unhealthy when he passed. He knew he was unhealthy and did not take care of himself. Hence the bicycle, take care of your health. And so now we understand why. I understand now why all the health came first with you. It's okay. Linear time to them doesn't mean anything. Linear time is our time here in the 3D. So he shows me that he's passed, but it wasn't like a long time. So long time to me would be like he passed, like was within like the last 10 years. That would be like a linear time to me, when they show me that. So he died unexpectedly.
Yes.
Okay, because he's like tingling my face. He's making me feel. Did he have a stroke?
We don't know. We just found him. He passed away in his home, and my brother was in the room, so he passed away fairly quickly in like a praying position over a stool. So that's how he was found. He was cold instantly. So we don't.
Okay, because I'm thinking that, because when I'm feeling your energy also, I have to also try and go in my head and make sense of these things, because some of the feelings that I felt through your energy could have been his. So the headache.
That was him.
Okay.
He had high blood pressure, so he would get a lot of headaches. I've never had issues there. Yeah.
Okay. So that's, as I tell you, it might not pertain to you, but it pertains to someone that existed. Even though he's not here with you, he's still within your energy. And and you have children, you have 2?
4, 2 boys, 2 girls.
Okay. So was he close to, oh wait, he wasn't there.
The babies, one was the one of the 2. She's the oldest of the 2. She was a year old when he passed. The other one wasn't born. The other 2 he was really close with. The older 2.
Okay. So he's recognizing, because he said the 2.
Yeah.
So okay. He's when they do this with their hands, it's telling me like how he would communicate. So was he a very touchy feely like kind of person, like demonstrative, like
yeah.
Okay. So when they do that, that's what that means to me. That's my symbols for stuff. It makes it easier for them, so they don't have to use so much energy. So he's telling me that the one, I don't think it was the older, I think it was the next one.
Yeah.
He had more of a connection with that child.
The girl, the second one.
He says she's so much like you.
Yeah.
She's so much like you, but she is she like hesitant, like when she does things, like she's not unsure of herself? Because he's telling me for you to let her know that what she thinks and feels, she needs to be able to express this and not to feel so not afraid or fear, but doubtful. She shouldn't doubt. Okay. So he's saying she's a lot like you in that respect.
Okay. Yeah.
Is this your first husband or second husband?
First. Only. Yeah. So far.
Okay. So did he know a boyfriend, somebody that you were in love with prior that he liked?
My dad?
Yeah.
Probably, because he was only introduced to 2. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So he's bringing him up. I'm not exactly sure why he's bringing him up. I'm trying to think if there's a connection somewhere in there. Do you not speak with him anymore? Or
no, really, barely, like just passing through life. He has his own separate life. I have mine, but we communicate on occasion.
Okay, so I think what he's trying to tell me, right, with all this is that sometimes it's not because, oh, well, you shouldn't marry them. No, it's right. That it's a communication he thinks that maybe you need to have with him. So I don't know if something is going on in his life. So, and he would still be connected to that energy, even though, it wasn't his family. Yeah. So he's like, maybe you just need to have a conversation because you know his mind really well. So right. I think that's what, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Your mom is still here, correct?
Yes.
Your mom is very old school, traditional, kind of like?
Kind of, so yeah.
Yeah. So your dad was a little bit more like, he's showing me like he was like a man, like kind of like he walked to his own tune, but your mom was like more like the traditional. Yeah. So he was saying, so, I mean, he's like actually laughing with your mom. Like I told her, like she needs to chill out some. He's kind of like saying.
It's way too serious. Way too serious.
Is she not close by you?
No, she's not. She's in South Carolina. I'm in Virginia.
Okay. Okay. Is your mom like, okay, he's showing me your mom as, even though she has this robust kind of like energy, right? But He's showing me her very frail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he gets around.
Yeah, right?
Okay. He's making this part of me feel, does she talk about your dad a lot? Because he's making me feel, because he's like, that's this part here when they show me is like a strong connection they still have.
Soulmates, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's like got me like, I mean, all my hair on my arm, everything's standing up. And he does fit. Okay, this house, he's bringing me back to, is this her house? Does this house have trees?
She does have trees. So he has a house that we still keep. And then she also has a house, and both of those houses are in the country. That was near and dear to his heart. I live in Virginia, but I have a lot of trees surrounding my house as well. So.
But this house that he's showing me is like that happy place. So I don't know if he visits this place or it's your mom he's visiting, but this house is like his memory. Like this house is where like he could close his eyes and like walk through there. Like nothing's changed. Like everything's just the same.
That's his house. That's his house that we, And she stayed there a little while after he passed, but she couldn't stay there long. So she ended up moving to it and just keeping it for the kids.
Okay, so do know that his energy is very much present in that house constantly. Okay. Because in a little bit, like I think he got like a little bit confused. Yeah. I mean, because he showed me, he closed his eyes and walked around the house, but then he showed me like he was a little bit confused, like something was missing. Like it's the same, but it's not the same, but his energy is there. So it could have been her placement into another place.
Yeah.
So, but she feels him all the time. She feels him all the time. Does she wear slippers?
She does. She wears slippers commonly. Yeah, she does. I'm the barefoot walker, but she wears slippers.
Okay. Okay, you also had a maternal grandmother pass?
Yes.
Does she like to wear like big hats? I guess, I don't know, hats or, okay.
Yes.
She saw me like that was the pride, that was her hats. Like, you know, she didn't go anywhere without these hats.
All her pictures, yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing there's quite a few. Did your dad have a brother? Or a brother? Okay. He's there with him like that. Yeah.
A brother.
Okay.
No, his brother's here.
Okay, who's here that was like a brother to him then? Very close, brotherly. I'm feeling like very close to him. Does someone like a friend of his, like maybe you called an uncle, would be brotherly kind of like love that I'm feeling.
He's such a great person that he had so many folks he was close to, but he does have a living brother that I'm really close to, and I can almost feel my dad's energy in him, so I know they were close.
Okay, good. You have siblings?
Yeah, 3 brothers.
Okay, he's doing the list. Did your father like do list? Okay,
yes.
He's doing list with bullet points now.
Yeah.
He's going to the older one. And he's saying he's such a kind gentleman, but he still doesn't follow his path. I'll write that down. I don't know what that means. Follow his path. So he's kind. Does that sound like your older brother? The older one he's showing me? Did he not follow his path like he was supposed to in life? Okay, so he's the one.
That's what we're saying. Yeah, that he hasn't.
Okay. The next one would be, he's going the middle one. He's showing me that he was a bit lost. and he needed a lot of like external family help to try and get back on track. He took your dad's passing really hard. The middle one? Okay, so your dad was kind of like his, I want to say like his cord, kind of like he would feed off your dad. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. I'll write this because it's important to him. Okay. He's showing me the younger of them. This is what he's showing me, is like him going around and around and around and around and around in circles. So either that could be that he could be a man, but he still acts like a child, still playing games. And where your father would, if he was here, would say, okay, young man, smarten up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Did one of them not, he showed me one of them did not follow through or follow, I guess, their path maybe in life? Or they were derailed off their path. Yeah. They had like a path and then they just went astray from that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's not pointing out which one, but I'm going to put it with the oldest one because I think that's where it is. That's how I feel it. Okay. And you're where do you fall in with the children?
I am the third of the four. Out of the four, I'm the third oldest. So the younger brother is the only one younger than me.
Was it hard for you? He's showing me that it was hard for you to separate from your family.
Yes.
Okay, and what is your regrets that you're having? Because he's showing me that you have some regrets. I don't know about what, but he's showing that you're having some or some really insightful, thoughtful things that you're trying to come to terms with.
I often wonder whether or not I could have done more to spend more time with him before he passed, because the 2 weeks before he passed, I didn't get a chance to be in contact with him as closely as I was prior. So I do still carry that because, you know, that feeling of just wanting more and wishing that there was just a little bit more time you had with the person. So I do go back and forth with that often.
It's like that song. He's telling me that song just give me 5 more minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you were not there when he passed?
No.
So he said, did we not have a full life together? Because he's showing you and him like this.
Tight, yeah. Daddy's girl.
Okay, what he's doing is like swirling about me right now. And when they do that, that's saying that there wasn't like, you know how wind can just cover you and gets every part of you? He's showing me there was not anything that was ever left out between the both of you. Whether you're there or weren't there, he's still here. So speak to him, use your voice and talk to him because he hears you. And he says, do not feel guilty. Do not feel guilty. He said, because when the end comes for everybody, everything was done that should have been done before that moment. So if you're there or not there, it wouldn't have made a difference because everything was already done.
Another area with that I struggle for, and I'm sure he picks this up because I talk to him verbally. I've just experienced quite a bit of growth in my career professionally, and he's been the advocate to push me along. You know, I'm close to my mom, but the relationship that I have with him is different, you know. So I've found myself in a place where I could barely celebrate my own achievements because I miss the encouragement of him being over my shoulder, kind of telling me, hey, you got this, or you're going to get this done. And So it's where I'm at now in this stage of the growth from a career perspective. Although I went to school and done the things to get here, I feel him. I feel the void of not having him here, stronger than I ever have.
Okay. He's saying he's saying that you need to stop being so critical and judgmental of yourself. He says that you always were a little woman that knew what you wanted in life. And the validation, he says, that is always there for you from him. You just need to look within yourself because it's there. It's that light that's inside of you. He says, but you need to make that light grow bigger instead of trying to keep it like you need external validation.
Yeah.
He says, because how he's showing me this light inside of you, right? It radiates from like your solar plexus up into your heart chakra, which would be your stomach up to your heart. He says, when you feeling that way, you need to go there, right? He said, and say a prayer and talk to your light and tell your light, this is what I'm feeling, I just need to brighten that light, not extinguish it. He says, because of externally, you have other people always dim your light. Yeah. Don't do that.
Okay.
He says he's always there. Look within that light. He's always there. Are you going to get more education?
I do. I want to. I just don't know where to start now. Kind of went far with it, and I'm wondering what the next steps need to be.
Yeah, because he's telling me that you have more education coming. And it may not be in the formal sense education. So I don't know, Demi. I don't know if you've been thinking of another way, maybe not so formally educated, but okay.
Self-development, more self-development type.
Okay. Did you, he's showing me a dance or dancing. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if he's like, that's the moment he has. So either he was holding you.
Music. Music. Yeah. Dance with me, sing to me. I sang. He would help. He would coach me. Yeah. Music was my first love. And I found that through my dad. So yeah. Okay.
So he's saying like that is like so significant. He says to me to tell you, do you remember that feeling that you felt when you were dancing with him?
Yeah.
That's what he wants you to carry with you. And stop self-doubting yourself. Stop having the external take away the beauty and the light that's within you. And he says, Papa, your mother, like Papa, like she's not giving you.
No.
He says, because it's within you, and every ray of light that shines brighter within you, he says, extends out to your family. He says, so whatever that moment was that you were dancing with him, it must have been something that clicked with him. It's like you grasp that moment and keep that joy inside of you, because that's where he wants you to stay. And he says, no guilt. There is no guilt here, because he experienced everything he wanted to experience with you. And he has no regrets. He tells me absolutely no regrets about anything, except whoever did something in the house. So I don't know what was moved or what happened.
It's funny because when mom moved out, my brother has changed quite a bit in the house.
He's not happy about that. Because he's showing me, like, he closed his eyes and, like, I could walk around the house, go, hey, wait a minute, like, something's not right here. But was your father, like, I don't want to say he was, like, religious, but he was spiritual?
Yes. Same
like
yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's showing me that where him and your mom were kind of like the same, where she was more religious, he was more spiritual.
Yeah.
And and that's where he connects with you on that path.
Yeah.
But he sees your life progressing, and he does not want to see you dim your light at all, ever, for anybody.
Okay.
He's
yeah, I have to put work into that, because I do, and it's like you said, it's almost like all of the external energies just suck. So there's nothing to really pour back into me. So unless I carve out some specific time to do that for myself, it's almost like you're constantly all day, just a drain is in you and it's being sucked out. So I have a hard time finding ways to refill my cup.
Yeah, exactly. Self-care is so important, because when that cup is depleted, you don't have anything to pull from anymore. So do you meditate?
Sometimes, not as often as I should.
Okay. Meditate, I don't mean that you have to sit there. If you could just still yourself for 5 to 10 minutes a day, a couple of times during the day, like, you know, if you're sitting in the office, just breathe into yourself, breathe into your heart, breathe into whatever you're feeling in there, and go to whatever that emotion is and give it love. Okay. And that will help you reconnect back. Because what it is that I see that you are kind of like not two people, but I see that you do that because that's the only way that you know how to manage everything, is that you try and split yourself in two people. You can't do that. You have to integrate those two beings together, because they're both you. So it's okay to say no. It's okay. Mommy needs time. Mommy wants to take a bath. To your husband, you can wash the dishes tonight. I need to go for a walk. No, I need to go alone. Mommy will help you do your homework when she comes back. That's self-love, because when you integrate that in yourself, you're also teaching your family how to love and how to take care of themselves and not to lose their voice. Because it's important, because we only think that girls it's important to, but it's also important for men to understand that their voice matters and that they don't have to be passive aggressive, which you are. You need to be more assertive. And assertive is not being bad. Assertive is saying that I have boundaries and I need to care for myself also.
Okay.
That's how I'm reading your energy now. Do you have any more questions, Latricia?
He's excited.
How do you feel happy when Dad came through? I was so happy. You feel all right?
I knew exactly when we were talking, Diane, or when you were mentioning the heaviness in the heart. It's just the visual of feelings and permissions that I've found myself seeking, as opposed to filling my own cup up and learning how to be that to myself and honoring thyself with setting boundaries. Because it's like on the personal side, all of that's coming together, and on the professional side. So I'm now in a position in both places in my life at the exact same time, where I have to set these clear boundaries and integrate myself into the person that I'm designed to become. So
because it's not the external that's going to make the difference. It's the internal.
I love it. This is like the perfect time for you to get this reading. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Have a wonderful day.
I'll talk to you later, Latricia.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, hon. That was awesome. Thank you so much. She lost her father right after mine.
Oh, well, that's probably why he came through that's why he came through.
I was praying for him to come through. And what do you feel when you're reading people?
Okay. It's different for every person that I read, but I do have definitive boundaries for them. Like the maternal would be to my right side, the paternal would be to my left side. Friends, families, etc. They're usually in the middle. And that's how I can distinguish the energy. For me, it's easier for me to know the placement of the people. It comes through as either I'll get an 8mm film about the person's life or whatever is important for me to express to the person that I'm reading.
Mhm.
I can see, feel, and sense energy around me immediately when I start. It's so hard to explain what I feel. It's according to the importance of what's going on in the person's life. So if I'm reading someone and they have like all these things going on, the person that can help make a difference in their life will come forward, because people don't always get what they want, they get what they need. And, when you're dealing with stuff, whomever it is that can make an impact on your life, is that the person, that's the one that comes forward and will speak. And then the other ones, kind of like say hi or whatever.
So
But
does it come to you like in Morse code? They're not saying full sentences. They're just doing like, you got to put everything together. Is that correct?
yes, it's very much like I have to assimilate like a puzzle. But they'll give me, I'll feel immediately when it's love, or, if it's an illness, like parts of my body will, like with her, I felt her heart immediately. I get the clairs, I get all the clairs mostly. The only one, the taste, I don't get that often, is only if it's murder. Then I'll get the taste of blood in my mouth. But
Wow.
I don't really have the taste, but I do have the clairsentient, clairaudient, and clairvoyance, and that all knowing. I just know that it's just there. It's like I'm not educated on this. It's just a knowing inside of me. Just comes out. It's just like, just say that because that's what you're supposed to say.
How long have you known that you've had this for?
I've had this since I was I remember I was 4. And I remember always talking to, I used to have a girl spirit where she was my guide. She's still with me today. Her name is Catherine.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't sure what it was. Obviously at that age, to me, it was just like, oh, here's her, friend. And, my story learning how I was meant to have these gifts was that my parents told me kindly not to speak about this because I was going to attend school the following year. And people would think I was crazy, and you just don't talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember as they were shutting me down, that I became at the age of 4.5 clinically depressed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and going to the hospital, and I remember, it wasn't a memory that I had, but it was a memory that they showed me later on when I was old enough to understand that they gave me electric shock treatment because they thought I was clinically depressed.
Yeah.
And then I remember that after that I was laying in the bed, and there was this little girl in the bed beside me in the hospital ward, and she would cry all the time. My mom would bring me these big lollipops, so I would always go and put the lollipop on the little bedstand. And the nurses would say, Diane, what are you doing out of bed? Get back in the bed. I'm like, but Catherine's crying. I feel so bad. And they're like, no, there's nobody in that bed, Diane. And she's been my spirit guide ever since. I think she's my earthbound one.
Yeah.
And she's always with me. But that I knew from that day, they couldn't close me.
Right. It's so funny how it's more acceptable now, in the time that we live in. Way back when you would talk about this, they put you right into a mental institution, like what you just said. And, as you and I know each other, and I've had the gift, or what my ability has came out ever since my mother passed away. So, it's very hard to talk to people about this because they just don't understand. And I look like a crazy person half of the time, you know what I mean? So it's nice to have people like you and my other friends in my life. So I want to thank you so much because you do make a difference in my life. What do you want people to know? And what can you, to the skeptics, what can you just tell them?
I don't believe that people are skeptic. I think that the people are afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel, if someone can't tap into something and understand it logically, they become skeptical about it because, well, how come if you can do it, I can't do it?
Right.
And I've got that a lot. But I always say to them, if you go within yourself and you have these feelings, those feelings aren't from your logical mind. Those feelings are from your spirit. Those are the feelings that you listen to that guide you in your life.
Yeah.
when don't take that turn, or don't go down that street, or, don't get out of the car, and then just right after that something happens, or, you didn't get on that plane, or you didn't make that right turn down that street and there was an accident. That's your guidance system. It's spirituality in a person is your guidance system. And it just depends on how awakened you are, to hear the messages that you're given, and some people are fully awake like I am, and I get downloads all the time, and I deal within the angel realm, because that's whom speaks to me besides, my guides and your guides.
Yeah.
And, when it happens and you see it and you feel it, and I speak what I speak without knowing. I mean, there's people that I've spoken to psychiatrists. I am not a psychiatrist. How would I know the things educational wise? I don't have a PhD, but I know words. I know things that I don't know. And that's being guided, being channeled.
That's your spirit guides.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's how I tell people, that's your guidance system. Your spirit is your guidance system. And don't be so afraid of listening and feeling with that, because that's who you are. That's your voice. It's a beautiful thing, but skeptics, I love skeptics. I really do.
Yeah. I don't know. I love this whole thing. I mean, I'm so open to it. And I don't know if you ever saw it, but as I'm sitting here, I have these little, not orbs, but like spirits that come in, and do they love the video? They love to be on, that's the way they show.
They love when you're talking about it, and they're like, yay, because they want to help.
Diane, you're also a healer as well. Do you do your Reiki Master?
Yeah, I'm a Reiki Master and teacher, and I'm also a Lahochi 13 octave angel healer. It's a different form of healing. It's a direct. It's strong. They say it's stronger than Reiki, and it's immediate. Where I use the divine's energy to help me, where I don't have to use and it's combined. It's a beautiful way of healing somebody, but it is instantaneous. And it's more like I talk to mother, father, angels. Like I have a stronger link in to that angel realm that I speak with. And with the Reiki Master, we use the energy, our energy combined with the client or the patient's energy. This is like superimposed energy in the Lahochi.
How long have you been a healer for?
Oh my God, my whole life.
Wow.
People just, gravitate towards me. People like to talk, so I can heal by talking. Yes. I can heal by holding. Animals love me.
Love it.
So it's just, it's just the exchange of energy. My energy can mingle with your energy and help you heal.
That's so wonderful. Thank you so much. You're so calming, and you just made our day. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you. Diane, you've helped out with some investigations with your ability. Tell us about that.
In Tennessee, there was a little boy that was not too long ago, it was 2 years ago, that went missing. And I actually saw through the eyes of, I wasn't sure who it was first that I was seeing, but I was viewing this person walking. And when I was explaining it to the police, I described the whole place, because I was never in the state of Tennessee. And I described there was a road to my right, and there was not a lot of traffic, but it was, cars would go by, this chain link fence. I hear this dog barking. I see a shed, and I was actually seeing this person walking. And then the next thing that flipped to me was showing me a little boy who was eating, happy, laughing. And then there was this, I saw like this figure of this man. And then the next one it flipped to the picture was I was in the eyes of the little boy that they said left out of the house on his own.
Yeah.
And I was looking through his eyes, and he was under a bed or under something. And I saw these shoes, the shoes of this person. And then next I remember seeing this person, he had like something wrong with his face. I wasn't sure if it was a beard or I don't know what was wrong with it. So anyway, I gave all this information to them, and I told them that I didn't feel the life force of this little boy anymore. I felt it, but then I didn't feel it anymore.
Wow.
And I said, I don't know where he is, but I know that he's under this metal thing. And I saw him down there, and something put this metal thing on top of him. And he's out, you know, where there's like a tree line. I said, but there's a lot of stuff around him. So it's going to be really hard. And it's hard for me because I don't know how to remote in, you know, to know like geography wise. Okay, well, if you make a right, make a left, but I can tell you what I'm seeing overall. And anyway, so then I was told, you know, by describing this person that the father had, he was a stepfather, had killed him. And they tried to say that the little boy like got lost, but it wasn't so, because I felt the life force leave him. And I felt that he was poisoned, which wasn't part of, I don't think was let out in the news, but he when I saw him eating, he was actually being poisoned.
Oh my
He was
God.
eating, yeah. And it was hard. I could still like feel him today. And I think that was probably the worst case that I've ever dealt with. And anyway, I got a month ago, because they still didn't locate his body. He refused to tell them where the body was. Right. And then I got an email and a phone call like a month ago, and they told me that they believed they located where he was.
Wow.
So yeah, it's horrible to, you know, to deal with that. I'm sure people that do that know that you don't want to see that, you know, but you do want to see justice.
Correct.
For things like that.
Thank you.
But they work hard, the police and the investigators on, you know, and utilizing us, you know, it's a blessing, because we can at least give them insight, you know, for what we see or what we feel, where they're scientifically, we could follow the spirit. Right. You know, we could feel the energy, and, you know, and I find that gratifying to know that they don't dismiss the vibration of the world. That's what their job is. That's what they want to do.
I love it so much. Diane Sassano, where can people find you?
I am on Facebook. I have a private group with psychic medium readings with Diane. And then I also have Diane Sassano, you know, that's Facebook. That's a public page. I am now building a website because I have so many people that are coming to me that it's just literally impossible for me to deal with. So that will have everything there. Or they can reach me at my home on my phone number. That's my business phone, 845-337-7786, and they can set appointments and however I Skype, Facebook.
Okay, so you do it all. Okay.
Yeah. In person, Skype, Facebook, whatever.
Thank you so much. Can you do a quick little reading for me?
I can.
Thank you.
Okay. First thing that came to me was your doggy. What's up with the doggy?
He's good. He's a little depressed today because I haven't taken him for a walk. Is he okay?
Yes, but he came to me. So is he around you?
Yeah, he's right here.
Okay, yeah. I was talking about the flowers or the plants again.
He's always bringing up flowers, this woman. What is wrong with her? She's like showing me like this dead bush, and she's going like, what is the problem here? What is? I don't have anything dead in my house.
I don't know. Is there something outside that she liked? There's flowers or something that she looked at?
Oh, you know what? The hydrangeas got all yucked up that I like to pick. Is that it? I have no hydrangeas. She showed me like this bush. She's like, what is up with this? That's so funny. Yeah, I like to pick hydrangeas. Sorry.
Is there a birthday, anniversary?
Yes.
Something celebratory is coming.
A birthday's coming up.
He does hear you. Your mom does hear you when you speak. But when you get the answers from them, you still do what you want to do.
That's the Taurus in me. That's the Taurus in me. I mean,
Blue. He's showing me something blue. What's blue? Blue.
My favorite color. His favorite color.
Okay. What door in the house isn't working properly?
Are you kidding me? The front door. I got trapped in my house yesterday. Oh my God. Why is it broken?
He's showing me that you need to get that fixed. He said for safety.
Oh my God. That's insane. It just happened yesterday. I got trapped in my house.
He's like, so was he like a tinker kind of like person that could fix things?
My dad, not really. I was the one who fixed everything.
He's saying for safety, you need to fix the door.
Okay. Wow, that's
That's funny.
crazy. Thank you.
Are you doing something big like with this? Like going to like, what he's showing me is like, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but you're going to speak to or be involved in something like big. Like he's showing me like, like an actor, how they get like the statues, whatever those things. Yeah, that's what he's showing me with you.
Oh, okay.
So an award maybe, an award show, or you're going to get an award. I don't know.
Thanks.
Sweet.
I'll take it. And Sasano, where can people find you?
I am on Facebook. I have a private group with psychic medium readings with Diane. Mm-hmm. And then I also have Diane Sasano, that's Facebook. That's a public page. I am now building a website because I have so many people that are coming to me that it's just literally impossible for me to deal with. So that will have everything there. Or they can reach me. That's my business phone. 845-337-7786.
Thank you to Bruno's Restaurant, located at 158-22 Cross Bay Boulevard, Queens, New York, for sponsoring the show. Bruno's is family operated with the finest of Italian cuisine, daily specials, and brick oven pizza. They are currently serving outside dining.